This clip of the Texas Bucket List is brought to you by Spirit of Texas Bank, Slovacek Sausage, Germania Insurance, TX Burger, and RV Source. Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. Next up on the show, we drive on over to Dublin to learn about one of the Lone Star State's greatest golfers and hear his inspirational story. The rolling hills of Dublin have long been synonymous with one of the state's favorite sodas, and during the production of that particular pop, another pop was busy blacksmithing. His name was Chester Hogan. Chester and his wife, Clara, had 3 children. Their youngest, a boy named Ben, and it turns out Ben had one heck of a swing.
This is a fascinating story about Ben Hogan, and no, I'm not a golfer.
Karen Wright is the curator at the Ben Hogan Museum, where the Texas golfer's incredible career is celebrated.
The things you hear about him, they talk about the mystique of Ben Hogan. Well, you can understand that when you know about his story.
Ben's family moved from Dublin to Fort Worth in 1921, and after the death of his father, Ben dropped out of school and took a job as a caddy at the Glen Garden Country Club. That's when the 11-year-old met Byron Nelson, and the two would eventually become golf legends.
Had it not been necessary for Ben and his brother to drop out of school to help support the family, would he have discovered golf? Would we be standing here today talking about Ben Hogan, the golfer? I don't know.
It took Ben a decade to get to the professional level, and once he got there in 1937, the money started rolling in. Then he was called to serve in the Army Air Corps during World War II and returned to golf in the mid-40s by winning the 1946 PGA Championship. In fact, he won 37 tournaments in a span of 4 years, till one fateful February morning in West Texas.
Coming home, he got hit by a Greyhound bus early one morning as they left Van Horn. Then the report was that he had been killed. When they realized he was alive in the car, he'll never walk again. He had thrown himself over his wife, but his hips and legs were crushed. There was no talk of him playing golf again. But you get the feeling maybe they didn't tell Ben that.
After learning how to walk again, Hogan did the unimaginable and won the U.S. Open the following year.
This statue was a gift to us on Mr. Hogan's 100th birthday. It is representative of the most famous picture in golf, which is called the famous one-iron shot.
That's in about every golf clubhouse I've ever been in.
Yes, and in a lot of homes. The bulk in the upper part of his slacks, those are the bandages, because he would have to soak in hot baths and then they'd wrap his legs to try to keep the swelling down.
In 1953, he won the Triple Crown, a combination of the Masters, U.S. Open, and the British Open. It also earned him a very significant athletic award.
In '53, he won the Hickok Award, which is Athlete of the Year. I think it's significant that that's not Golfer of the Year, that's Athlete of the Year. And every big name athlete that you can think of has been in contention for the Hickok Award, but rarely is it golfers.
Hogan would close out his career with 63 tournament victories and 9 majors.
If you like comeback stories, and who doesn't, there's not a better comeback story.
And that's what brings us to Dublin, to learn more about this incredible Texas legend.
We're so proud to have these clubs. These were Mr. Hogan's personal clubs. You'll see how worn that little putter is, but the real bright spot in it is when the light hits it just right. Do you see the sweet spot?
Yep, you can see right where you hit the ball.
Every single time.
Once you find a putter you like, you stick with it.
Well, apparently he did.
Venture to say Ben Hogan's swing is probably the most broken down in golf ever.
Everywhere you look in here, it's broken down. It's broken down in the original pictures. So absolutely, it's so analyzed. And periodically somebody will say, well, I know what the secret is now. Because they're always talking about the secret of Hogan's swing. Mm-hmm. Well, nobody knows the secret of Hogan's swing.
Visiting the Ben Hogan Museum is well worth a stop on the Texas bucket list, just to hear about the tough tenacity of a Texan who refused to quit.
His mother always taught him the most important thing you own is your name. So respect it. A person's not truly dead until no one speaks his name. Well, Ben Hogan's name is still being spoken a lot.